I believe we might have Brian Snitker with us right now.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We do. We have Brian Snitker joining us, the manager, of course, of the Atlanta Braves. And Snit, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to be with Mad Dog and I here today. And I would imagine it's a little strange for you, sir, seeing Freddie Freeman on the other side. Of course, you get the win 3-1, but that whole dynamic of Dodgers against Braves this year is a bit strange, is it not?
Yeah, it is, but it's all, you know what, it was good to see Freddie when we came in and get to talk to him, and he's a good friend. It was great last night, like you guys were talking, to get Kenley out there on that mound for us, and so hopefully, you know, I hope it's one of those things that works out for both of them.
Obviously, Jensen's done a nice job in your bullpen too, Brian, and boy, Olsen has been, you put him right in that two-hole where Freeman was, and Olsen has not had any trouble filling his shoes. Give me some thoughts on him right out of the gate here.
You know what, he was a fixture in that clubhouse and on this team as soon as he got here. When he arrived in spring training, the guys, welcomed him with open arms. He is such an unbelievable young man. The makeup and intangible that this guy has is just, it's out of sight. And he's an elite player, just like the one that he replaced. So we're really fortunate and happy to have Matt here. And I'm really so glad that he's got off to such a good start.
Brian, you talk about elite players, and you can certainly talk about Max Fried. Perfect through 5 innings, ends up pitching into the 7th inning. You had said it was the best you've probably ever seen him. Why is that? What was he doing?
You know what? He was just locked in. I think his delivery was clean. I think he was on a mission. I think you can tell Max. I mean, he gets that kind of that tunnel vision and gets focused on the job at hand, and he can be really, really special like he was last night.
Brian, off season as a champion, getting ready for spring training, not knowing when that would start because of lockout. Give us a little sense of what your 3 or 4 months was like as a champion, as the Braves skipper. Let me hear.
Yeah, it was a little different. Very busy. A lot of people kind of wanting you and things like that. It was great. I mean, all for the good. I hope I get to experience it again. And I had a couple of calls from guys that had been in my shoes and told me it's probably going to change my life forever. So, and always, for all the good reasons. So it was great. I still pinch myself every morning when I get up and have coffee that we are the defending world champions.
And Brian, I would imagine you haven't had to pay for a meal in Atlanta since you won the World Series. And if you do, you can just sell that World Series ring that I think is worth about $5 billion. When you received that ring, what was your initial thought, and how heavy is that bad boy?
It is very heavy. I was just blown away. I don't know that you could have put together something to be any better than that. It's just it's an unbelievable remnant of what we accomplished. And like you say, I kind of screwed up when we were giving them out because I left it on my right hand and I shook everybody's hand to congratulate him. I got a bruise on my finger. So, but it's something that I think everybody's very, very proud of it. The organization and Jocelyn's did an unbelievable job of putting together a very special memento of what we accomplished.
Snit, give me some thoughts on Ozuna, who's played well, and then Acuna is going to be back here not too long, getting him back with the ball club. Let me hear your thoughts on those two.
Yeah, Marcel's been great from the day he stepped into spring training. He was in great shape. He went and played winter ball. He's really swinging the bat well, too. I mean, it's good to see because we know how important he was to us a couple of years ago. Ronald started his rehab last night. He hit a missile off the center field wall. He's feeling great. I know he had to be just really excited to get under the lights and play a real baseball game. So we're anxiously awaiting his return because I think that's going to be a huge boost for our club.
Spencer Strider's looked good, Skip. What have you noticed so far about this young reliever?
It just, man, you talk about a kid that's come a long way fast. I mean, he had the 1 inning for us at the end of the year last year, and he's really improved. I think his secondary pitches. We know he's got a big arm. The kid's got some his intangible is something else. I mean, just his mound presence is very impressive for a young man, and he's done a really, really good job. And I like the fact that he's gotten a lot of innings here in a short period of time because this kid could be a really, really big addition for us in that bullpen.
Brian, how hard was it in spring training this year? You got a lot of new guys on the team. Had to bring Ozuna back, obviously new first baseman. short spring off a championship. That was, that's condensed. That had to be a little tricky. You had a lot of things you had to sort of get across. New year, let's not worry about last year. How'd you do that in 3 weeks? Let me hear.
Well, you know what? Working with these guys, it's easy. I mean, we were very aware and talked to the players a lot about, how smart we're going to have to work. And you can't make up those 2 weeks that we lost. And I think, number one, I applaud our guys for how they all came to camp. Every one of them came in unbelievable shape. They did a great job of doing just that. The coaching staff did an unbelievable job of putting together a program that, with the lack of time that we had, in order. So our pitching guys did a great job with creating simulated games for the guys, but I hand it to the players, the way they all came in and how focused and driven they were during spring training.
Brian, you're looking to even things up in terms of record, going 7-7. If you can get the win tonight, you have Charlie Morton going up against Tony Gonsolin. What does Charlie need to do to improve on what you've seen so far in his first couple of starts?
Yeah, Charlie just needs to be Charlie. He doesn't need to do anything more or less. I mean, Charlie, when he takes that mound, has we all feel really good. We feel like we're going to win the game. And he's been in this venue before, on this stage. Charlie's been so good for us over his time back here in Atlanta. So we don't really need Charlie to do anything but just be Charlie.
Mets are playing well, Brian. Last year they had in first place good part of the year. I know you've owned this division, but I'm sure you've kept an eye on them. 9 out of 12, and Lindor is playing well, and they're pitching well with Scherzer and Bassett. Let me get your take on that. Go ahead.
No, we knew coming into this thing it was going to be tough. I mean, everybody in our division got better, and it's a long way to go. We got to play the games, but it's going to be a tough ride for us. But because, like you say, those teams are good. They all got better. They're good clubs. So are we. So it'll be a fun race, and we just say I think we just you can't look ahead. You got to worry about today, so I think I love our club. I don't think we're where we're going yet. I think we still got a lot of room to grow, to get better, and stay in the thick of this thing.
Excellent job, Snit. Always a pleasure to chat. You stay healthy. Thanks for giving us a few minutes here today.
All right. Thank you all. Good to see you.